All right, welcome on the adult side field, everyone. What an interesting kid size finale right now. And we just have seen, now we're on the adult size field here. We are playing Team Nimbro from Germany. They are last year's winner, last year's champions, against Team Romela from the US. They were placed third last year. So both of the teams very hungry to win. Nimbro has been long-term champion here in the league, so they really want to defend their title, obviously. And for Romela, it would be really nice after being placed third last year to come home with that title. We are very close to starting the game. We are just a couple of seconds away from it. So in adult size, we've just watched kid size here. Adult size is slightly different, and that you see that the robots are taller. And you also see that they will have a person who was allowed to walk behind them. It's just to make sure that the robots are safe. The bigger robots or the taller robots are not able to fall down that easily. That might damage their hardware a lot. So they have a person there that is catching them in case they're falling down. Otherwise, the people that are walking behind the robots are not allowed to interfere at all. Again, as in the kid size league, all the robots need to make all of the decisions on their own. They need to be placing themselves, they need to see and find the ball, find the goal, kick the goal. That's all decided by the robots completely on their own. The head referee just called ready. That means the robots are now allowed to walk in. And look at Romela, who is already so strong, walking in, placing their robots here. Now Nimbro in blue is also starting to walk in. It looks like Nimbro actually has kickoff here, so the blue team is positioning itself right on the center mark for the kickoff. Romela in red needs to defend here, so they are further away from the center circle. Both of the teams playing with one player in the front and one player slightly placed behind. The ball's being placed and the game is in play. Very strong kick from Nimbro and Team Blue here right away. It looks like the red robot confused on where the ball is, but now there is one walking really strongly. Another blue one approaching here. So blue and red both really close to the ball. Actually the blue one here trying to kick, but it was too late. The ball was already gone and it lost stability here. The red one now approaching, there is no robot defending the goal. So there will be a good chance now for the red team to score a goal. It looks like they are not very well. Now they're positioning themselves really well. This is looking really good. If they're doing another strong kick. Oh, and that is 1-0. Right away for Team Romela. They are now needing to walk back to their own half. Look at how fast both of these robots are walking right into each other. But look at how stable they are. Oh, that was so close. It almost got back into stability, but then finally fell down. So both of the robots looked like they were taken out actually, because they lost stability. But we have one robot from Romela in here, and now the blue one is walking in. The blue one is allowed, obviously, now to do the kickoff here because the goal was just scored against them. They are positioning fairly well in the center circle here, and Romela is keeping their distance. So another chance now for the blue team to play a good kick here towards the red half of the field. Blue is positioning itself. It has about 10 seconds to do the kick. It did, but right towards the feet of the red robot, and that was a really strong counter kick. But blue was right there. Blue number 2 could now take that ball, but look how fast number 1 is approaching from Romela. They are now facing each other, ball in between them. Really well done from the blue player here, playing the ball to the side of the red robot, but the red robot is right there. Both blue robots now being there. And both of them kicking the ball. One of the robots is taken back out and lost stability. They're really trying to not push each other too hard. Both robots trying to avoid each other, but sometimes it is hard. Really strong kick now from Team Nimbro, the blue team here, but right towards the red team again. There is a red player who could follow up. Rep number 2 now is approaching the ball. It could kick the ball. Oh, but it's kicking it out. It is kicking it out, so now blue has a chance to do a kick in from the sideline here. It means that now blue can position itself behind the ball, and the red team actually has to keep a distance. They have to allow the blue team to take that kick in. There's one robot still penalized on the blue side, but number 2 is walking towards the ball now. It looks like it really wants to position itself to take that kick in. And it's looking pretty well positioned here. Not quite behind the ball yet, but it's almost behind the ball. And now it can execute that kick. Romela, the red robot, still have to wait. That kick was executed, but again, right in front of the feet of the red robots. Both of the red robots are there. Really fast and strong kick. And oh, but out right away. One robot is being, both robots are taken out. Looks like both number 2 of Team Blue and the red number 1 have lost stability. So now the ball is positioned back. A good chance now for the blue robot, but number 1 is really, no, number 2, both of them are right there. Both of them are right there, but we are dangerously close towards the red goal area. The red goal robot now needs to get that ball out, and really well done, good kick. This time not too far. Oh, both robots falling down. Actually, the Romela robot, the red one, actually really falling to the ground here. Let's hope that it didn't damage its hardware too much. You see that both robots looking like they're being serviced on the side right now. Both of the blue robots ready to walk back in. Now it is a chance for the blue team. It's a completely defenseless field. This is the chance for Nimbro, for Team Blue, to kick, to make their first score. Really good kick. Really something to go. No! Oh, it lost stability again. Looks like it's really struggling walking here. It's also, they have done an entire tournament. It is hard for the robots to play so many matches. So it looks like they're also struggling with their hardware and stability here. Both robots now have to serve a penalty, so they have to wait at the sideline. Also, Romela's robots still seem to be in service on the sideline here. They are not waiting to get back in. So the chance is not over. It looks like number 3 is walking back in. Blue number 3. But it's walking right into its own teammate. Will it destabilize both of them? They keep walking into each other. No. It's being picked up. Now what happens? Red is back in. Red is back in, but also blue number 2 is back in. So both of them have a chance. Really good kick from the red team. Really strong, and look how fast they can walk. What a good chance. What a good chance for them to now follow up. Blue was also really fast, but not quite as fast as the red team, so this is a really good chance for them. They just have to do one of their strong kicks, and that could be another. No, not quite. Oh yeah, it was strong enough. 2-0 for Team Red, UCLA from the United States. Both of the robots are positioning themselves again. Blue has kickoff, so they have positioned themselves in the center circle again. And also, blue number 3 is allowed after it just attacked its opponent, and it's its own team player and just had another penalty, is now allowed to go back in. It seems like Red is only playing with one player right now, so a good chance for the 2 Nimbro robots here to score their first goal. And now the blue team can do a kickoff. Red needs to wait for the ball to be kicked. That is the case now, so now the robot can approach. It is approaching. It is kicking really strong. Both of them now tackling each other. And it looks like the red robot was slightly more stable here. Blue was taken out, but there's another blue robot now really approaching the ball fast. And it's actually kicking, so that was a really good kick. It can follow up now, but there's another red robot. Is the other red robot fast enough? Oh, right in front of the red robot again. They're almost passing to each other. But now there's 3 robots. That is really problematic because they all have to be stable. Looks like the blue one is really doing strong right now. Red ones are still, really good kick towards the goal. Red ones seem to be slightly, but no, they lost stability again. So the robot is taken out, so 2 red robots here. Another chance for Romela, to make. Another chance for Romela here. One of the robots is taken out, but the other robot has a good chance. The other robot has a good chance for a 3rd goal here. But the blue robot is there. The blue robot is defending, but it was not quite fast enough. That is the 3rd goal for Team Romela, for the red robots here. They are doing so well. They are walking so fast, and they have really strong and really fast kicks that is really giving them a good advantage here. Compared to last year, this team has really evolved so much. They are really doing so much better than last year. So it's really a pleasure to watch them walk so fast here. But the blue robots are really strong as well. They are walking so fast as well. They are doing so good defenses. It looks like they're just not quite stable enough. They need to be picked up too often and actually be brought to the sidelines. Ball is being placed again. It's again the blue team who has kickoff. And they are doing the kickoff. Again, quite good kick, but quite towards the red one, and see how fast it followed up. And again, the ball is out, and the robot fell down and is being brought to the sideline here. And it looks like they actually lost a part as well. That is now handed to the referee. Obviously, robot parts need to be picked up from the field. So this was over the goal line, so this placed back in on the center line. And it was the red robot who kicked it out. So this is now Blue's chance to score. Blue has a chance to kick the ball in, and there is no red robot around. So it is their chance now to score their 1st goal. They're positioning themselves quite well. Slightly next to the ball, not quite behind it. The placing phase is over, so now they can execute. And they're really close. There is no red robot around. This is their chance. If they have a good and strong kick right now, this could be their chance to score. Pretty good kick towards the goal. This is their chance. There is no red robot there. This is their chance to score their 1st goal now for the blue team. Oh, it is slightly to the side, but it's still able, it will be able to recover. It just needs to kick a little bit to the right. Really well positioned. This is a good position to actually score. It is so close. Oh, it's right on the line, but I think it is able to make it. And that is the 1st goal for Team Nimbro. For the blue robots here, the red robot was slightly too slow to walk back in. So now both teams have to walk back, but now it will be the red robots to have the kickoff because they just had a goal scored against them. Team Nimbro pretty strong in positioning themselves. They have a really good localization. They've shown this quite often. They're really good at knowing where they're supposed to stand. So the robots here are building a strong line as a defense here towards the Romela robot. The Romela robot could walk a little bit closer towards the center mark, but looks like it is wanting to keep a little bit of a distance. Maybe that will be a good position now for a strong kick. And indeed a kick, but that looks like it could be the end of the 1st half. So it is halftime here. You see the teams running on the field now, especially the Romela robots. You see how heavy they are. They need 2 people to actually carry the robots because they are so heavy. The Nimbro robots are not quite as heavy, so you see that they are able to service them more on their own. You will also see them switching sides now. So Romela is already placing their robots on the other half. Nimbro is now slowly switching to the other half as well, but they still have 2 more robots actually waiting here on the outside the field. So they have 2 more robots that they could potentially send in. So they would have 4 robots available if there are hardware problems for them. So now in this halftime break, which is 5 minutes long, the teams are able to do both changes to their hardware and their software. We'll probably see the teams changing batteries. I can see Romela already changing batteries right here in robot number 2. Robot number 1 looks like it's getting software updates. They have a keyboard attached to robot number 1 and also doing battery changes now over there. Nimbro at the moment is just changing the sides. So they're just bringing the robots over and the people over to the other half of the field. Other than that, it looks like also Nimbro is changing the batteries, but they're also staring at their computers. So there may be some software changes coming in for Nimbro as well. You see loads of people from Romela, UCLA in the United States of America, so from Los Angeles here, loads of team members on the field, loads of team members attending the robots, doing changes, looking at the motors being connected. It looks like a little bit more relaxed on the Nimbro side. So they are from Bonn in Germany here, Bonn Rhein-Sieg University in Germany. No, University of Bonn in Germany, sorry. And they're a little bit more relaxed over there on the blue side. But they have brought their spare robots to the other side as well. So you see number 1 and number 4 of the blue teams standing on the other end of the field now, waiting if they need to actually replace one of the players on the field. And loads of changes being made here on the Romela side, it looks like. They actually have a keyboard attached now to both of their robots doing some changes. They are allowed to do that. Think about it a little bit as in human soccer when you have the coach actually giving the robots some more instructions for the second half. That's exactly what the teams are doing here. They're giving the robots instructions on how they want them to operate and what they want them to do in the second half. So it could be strategic decisions here on how to walk on the field and if they want them to play more defensive or offensive. And we'll see if you can spot any changes, especially from the Romela robots here in the second half. They're also having game pads connected, it looks like. So maybe testing some motor functionalities here with the gamepad as well. Team Blue is changing batteries still, it looks like, on the 2 robots that just played. So it looks like they will also not make immediate changes to the players on the field. Still a little bit of time left in this halftime here. Looks like the Romela robots are almost ready to walk back in. The Nimbro robots are still sitting. 1.5 minutes left here in this halftime break. They need to start placing their robots towards the sidelines soon. They're still allowed to do some service here, so still loads of cables being connected. We're now seeing a mouse being connected as well toward, to Romela number 1. So they are really trying to do their best to do last-minute changes here. On the robot, they have a gamepad and a mouse connected now. It looks like they have an onboard computer where they can make the changes without necessarily external computers being connected. Last minute is approaching, so they have to start placing their robots really soon and get the other people off the field. But look at how many people from Team Romela staring at the robots now. So they're really trying their best. As I said, Nimbro are the long-term champions of this league, so they really want to defend the title. And Romela has shown so much changes since last year when they made the 3rd place in our league. So this year it seems like they're really eager to win the title here in Eindhoven. So now the referee is sending off the people from the field, only robot handlers allowed on the field now. There is a referee timeout right now that is interesting. That usually means that there is something going wrong in either the software or something else on the field that is not quite in place. Let's see if we can actually find out what's going on. Any updates on what's going on for our audience?
Yeah, so we had to restart the computer or switch to a different computer because we had some technical issues there. And now some robots have trouble to connect to this new game controller.
Okay, so what the referee was just saying is so the robots are actually not communicating to the referees right away. They're actually communicating to a software that is running on a computer here on the table. And that computer had to be restarted because it had some technical difficulties there. And now they needed a little bit more time to set everything back up again. But it looks like all the robots are connected to that referee software again. So they are able to communicate again with the referees and the assistant referees on the sideline. So it looks like we are all ready to restart start the second half of this match. So the referee timeout has ended. The robots are now able to walk back in. And we see Romela taking that approach really quickly. Nimbro still standing with both robots on the sidelines here, still waiting for... Yep, now number 3, the blue number 3 is walking back in as well. And I believe blue actually has kickoff now. No, it looks like blue does not have kickoff. It looks like they're both positioning themselves to defend. And the red robot is in the center circle, so it looks like red now is having kickoff. Both blue robots pretty close together there, but in a good defending position. You see that the two teams have switched sides now, so Romela is now playing towards the goal on your right-hand side. He is kicking the ball just slightly outside the center circle here, but that was a really strong kick to the side. Number 1 of the team could now follow up, but it is walking slightly towards the ball, and already one of the blue team robots has to be taken off because it is unstable. Good shot here by the red robot. They're both trying to stabilize and get out of each other's way. Oh, but that was close, so blue number 3 is out. Oh, but that was the goal post, so close. But it can follow up, there is no blue robot to defend, so it is very close to scoring the next goal here. It is positioning itself, and if we see another good shot, no! Not a good position. The ball is out, and obviously it was kicked by a red robot. So now blue is allowed to kick that ball back in. It is still not quite a good position for blue because it is very close to their goal area, but they are now the ones who are allowed to play the ball next. So you see here Romela actually keeping their distance to the ball. They have to do that to allow blue to actually take that kick in. But blue is still penalized on the sideline, so they can't take the kick in right now. But now blue number 2 is walking back in, but it is quite a distance. It needs to go, and after 10 seconds, red is allowed to take the ball, and that's what they are doing right now. So a good chance, but no, it is out one more time, and again that was picked by the red robot. But now it was over the goal line, which now is much better for blue because it is placed back on the center line. So now really good chance because blue number 2 is in play. So it could just approach the center line now and kick the ball. It's a good position for a kick from right there. The red robots need to keep their distance. They're doing that quite well and positioning themselves in the distance. And also number 2 is positioning itself really well now for the execution of the kick-in. It seems like they are not waiting for that to actually happen. The referee calling the execute. So the ball is placed back, and number 2 now needs to walk back behind the ball. That's quite unfortunate. It might be an out now for Team Blue if they walk backwards. or they recover because they remember the last position of the ball. Let's see what's going to happen. Also, red seems confused. They can't really see the ball. Looks like the blue robot is in the way. Number 3 just tried to get back in, but fell down immediately. So now both the blue and the red robots are approaching at the same time. They're both placing themselves for the kick in. But it looks like number 2 is a little bit better position. But no, it's walking past. It's walking past it. So now it's a chance for the red robot. It is approaching. It is a really good chance because blue is slightly slower. And there's another goal for Team Red here for Romela. So Romela now quite in the lead. But they have been taking a timeout. Not red has been taking a timeout. Blue has taken a timeout. They are allowed to take a timeout once each team. So now they have 2 minutes for a special service of their robots. It actually looks like they are changing which robot is playing. We've seen number 1 before being on the sideline. Now it looks like number 1 will actually play. Maybe number 3 just has a too worn off hardware and motors right now. It looks like all the other robots just want to be happily standing where they are, or maybe not. Random numbers are being thrown around here, but it seems to mean something to the teams because UCLA seemed to be happy about that number that's just been said. They want to keep all of the other teams, or the other team and the other robot could be off the field as well. It looks like they just want to keep the robots walking there. It is 1 minute left in the timeout. We see robot number 1 being connected to a computer, so probably being in some form of service here. But it is not a lot of time for the blue team here to catch up. They have quite a lot of goals to make up for. So they would really need a strong change in their software now to be able to make it. The Romela robots, the red robots, are really fast and are really fast kickers as well. So they really have an advantage here in this game, it seems, for the current software and hardware they are playing. The robots are positioning themselves again after this timeout. The team blue will have the kickoff. Still some discussion among the referees. Now the ball is being placed and the game is restarting. So let's see how robot number 1 from Team Blue is now doing. First taking a little bit of a, round over there. A good kick from the blue team here, but again having trouble stabilizing itself. But also red is having trouble. It kicked the ball out. It kicked the ball out and the referee almost fell over the ball here because he didn't expect that to happen. So the ball is being placed on the sideline again. And because red kicked it out, it is Team Blue now that is allowed to kick it back in. It doesn't seem to be wanting to approach the ball just too closely yet. And maybe it doesn't want to make the mistake again of standing in front or behind, having the ball in its back. But now it's positioning itself really well. Also the red robot's now positioned really well for this kick-in. It's actually really nice that we are seeing this game situations now very close to the FIFA rules, as you can see here, just not quite there yet that they can throw the ball back in. They're still kicking the ball in. This was a pass right to the red robot, and they kicked it backwards almost into its own goal. Is that going to be an own goal here, or are they able to clear it? They're able to clear it out. What a good move here from the red robots, being able to clear that ball. Obviously they shot it out, so it is going to be another kick in from the sideline for the blue team. But what a good move here, being able to clear this ball. What good localization and good vision they need to make this happen. So again, blue was able to position itself. It looks like it is able to do that quite well. It's still a pretty good chance. There's a good position for a kick in. But there's also 2 robots from the red team actually trying to defend the goal here. So let's see if number 1 is going to be able to make another goal here. The red robot is approaching and is trying to kick the ball away from the blue one. But so far, blue seems to be positioned better. Now the red one has shot the ball slightly away. And it is faster. Again, we are seeing the advantage of the faster walk and especially the faster kick they are having, so they were able to clear the situation again. But another time, they kicked the ball out, so it's another chance for the blue team now to kick the ball back in. But now, as you can see, the ball is way further into the blue team's half, so they will have to play the ball much further towards the red half here. And we know how quick the red robots are. This is a good chance still for the red robots to score another goal if they're able to take the ball away there. The blue robot is positioning itself, slightly confused. It looks like it doesn't quite manage to turn around, but it still has 10 seconds to do so once the execution period starts. It looks like the other robot now, the number 2 from Team Blue, is trying to help out. So it is able to position itself, but the red robot is approaching. The red robot is approaching, and that fast kick again, but another time the ball is kicked out. Now again, the advantage of the blue team because the ball is placed to the center line, so another good chance for them. But look again how fast the red robot here is to get back into a good defense position. It looks like the blue number 2 is slightly confused what's going on, standing in its own half. Not really sure what it's looking at, but it doesn't seem to be the ball. So not a good team player in helping out right now. So let's see if number 1 of Team Blue is able to actually make it without any team support here to score another goal for the blue team. They're now able to execute. This time they are really well positioned. So really good chance now for Team Nimbro here to score another goal. And also number 2 is now helping out. So it looks like they're actually having 2 robots. But the red one is so fast in the approach. But now this was a really good shot. It was past both of the robots. So if the number 1 from Team Blue is now making it, this would be a really good chance. It's now fast and shooting, but no! The Romela robot was faster in the kick. But it is very close to the goal now. It really needs to be able to kick it out of the goal. We've seen this done before, so it might be able to do this back again. And another really fast approach, but not quite a kick out. The robots both cleared the situation. No robot fell down. Really good stability here. Oh! This looks like a part of the foot actually fell off. So this robot really needs to go back into service. You see that on the sideline here. And both of the blue robots are now there. Now it is 2 blue robots versus 1 red robot. This is a good chance for Team Nimbro. Now they have a supporting robot and a robot that can kick. So maybe this is the chance for them, only against 1 robot on the red side. The blue robot isn't quite turned properly, but it will be able to do this really fast. The other robot is approaching as well. So the robot is turning around. It is executing its kick. Number 2 is standing there as a support player, but also number 1 is approaching now. Again, intercepting that kick really well, doing a really far and fast kick. But it looks like, again, really far towards almost the goal line. It's almost over the goal line here. So they have to clear that one out here first, kick it in front. No, that was not a good strategy. They kicked it right towards the goal post. So that ball was out again. Another chance for Nimbro to do another kick in from that sideline. And player number 1 is right there, so not far away for the player number 1 to turn. Almost in the same position as he's just been before. Again, red number 1, it needs to keep a distance, and it seems that it's able to do that, although it is walking around a little bit, but it is at a safe position here. So number one can do the kick now. Is the other number one of the blue team, is number one of the red team able to intercept? It is seeing the ball, but not quite doing a good approach to the ball here. So this might be a good chance for the blue team to actually kick the ball. Nope, number one of the red team was right there to kick the ball away. And now a really good chance. This is a good position for the red team to score another goal. This is a really good position to score another goal. And yes, this is another goal for Team Romela. We are now at 5 goals for Romela and 1 for Team Nimbro. So it is really hard, it will be really hard for Team Nimbro to actually make up for that. All 4 robots back on the field. All 4 robots really well positioned as well. Nimbro has kickoff, taking a slight distance for the kickoff here. Taking an approach now. All the red robots have to wait. Really strong and good kick. Really far, almost towards the goal line. That is towards the goal line, but it's not a goal because they are not allowed to score directly from the kickoff. So this goal did not count. The referees indicated that clearly. They would have needed to do another kick. So this is now going back to the center line. And the red robots are allowed to kick that ball. This rule allows or encourages the robots to actually not just invest in really strong kicks, but really invest in team play and strategy as well. And it looks like this was not quite implemented here just yet. Oh, look at the unstable Romela robot number 1 here. That needs to be taken off the field now. It is actually walking off the field on its own. It will get penalized here on the field line because it's gotten too unstable. The other red robot now approaching the ball. It looks like the blue robot slightly confused where it's going. Red robot's making a really fast approach. It is at a good angle positioned towards the ball. It is close to kicking the ball. So now it is allowed to execute that kick in. I think it's the first time you're seeing Romela actually doing a kick in. Usually it has been Nimbro. Really good pass towards blue number 2. Now blue number 2 could follow up, but it is slightly too slow. But the ball actually bounced off the robot, but it has to be catched here. So it is taken back and penalized on the sideline. There was not a good kick from Team Romela, actually slightly misplaced the ball, it looks like beforehand. So that was more a kick to the side than the front. But now they will have a good chance, not quite the center. Again, almost towards the other robot. It's a good chance for the other robot now to clear that ball. They're both approaching. Looks like Romela slightly confused where they are going again. Walking off the field here a little bit. And Nimbro knows where they're going, it looks like. Romela now also positioned himself a little bit better again. Both are approaching the ball, but now Nimbro cleared it. They made a really good kick here. This is the chance to score the second goal for Nimbro. They're seeing the ball really well right now. They're approaching the ball, and it looks like the red robots are having trouble seeing the ball. This is the goal. This is the possibility for Nimbro to do a follow-up goal. But number 2 here from Team Red is approaching. They have to be faster. No! They really made it here. They kicked the ball away. Number 1 was slightly too slow in kicking the ball. So now a really good follow-up chance here for the red team. But the blue one is also there to defend. Both of them doing really strong. And this is again the goal post here. So they have to clear the ball from back there. It looks like a red robot is already approaching. Also the blue ones are seeing the ball, but they are too slow in approaching. It is a hard angle though for the red robot to make it. Will it kick the ball in the goal? And yes, that is another goal here for Team Romela. Really strong gameplay we're seeing here. It was a hard position to score a goal from, so really well done. Robots positioning themselves again. As I said, this is really hard, almost impossible for Nimbro to recover from this current score. So it looks like Romela will actually be the champions, but the game is not quite over yet. We are starting the game. The referee is waiting for the blue robot to actually kick the ball. Red one is approaching, and this is the end.